Hey there everybody, this is Rebecca with Boss Lady Resale and BexaBossLady.com. That's the name of my blog. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and if you tuned in to this episode, video, whatever the case may be, you are likely looking for real information on how much people are making reselling items online. Now, I really honestly can't speak to anybody else except that I know there are a lot of people out there inflating their numbers and just basically bullshitting everyone about what they're making. They're posting their sales and total sales, and they're not actually showing how much money you are making. So I thought it would be a refreshing change, and I don't mind sharing my information with you. If I would share the breakdown of where my sales were, how much I made for the month, and how much time I spent doing this stuff. So for me, if you were just tuning in, this is the first video you've ever watched of mine. Obviously awesome, I'm so glad to have you. But for me, I've been reselling since 2007, and it's really been a hobby for me until I became chronically sick and had to do it more out of a necessity to make money, because holding down a full-time job was becoming very difficult with my health. So anyway, that's the quick story of it. So let's break down the numbers, shall we? Now, June is the first month, full month, that I have been at my house the whole month working on this part of my business and other parts of the business, obviously, but this is not my full-time gig. This is one of my side hustles that I really love to do, and so I want to keep loving to do it. I don't want to end up burned out with reselling. So for me, it truly is about keep doing it as long as I'm making money and I'm passionate about it. That is the goal. So what I want to show you is that if you really like doing it, and you want to do it part-time, or supplement somebody's income if they're off work, or you're a stay-at-home mom and you just need extra money, or you're like me and you're sick and you either have to pay medical bills, or maybe you just want to get out of debt and so you want to pay off a bunch of stuff and start selling things out of your house. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown right now. So for me in June, like I said, it was the first month that I spent the whole month actually in the state of Virginia. It's the first time I was at home for the whole month without traveling or being sick or surgeries or whatever the case may be. So I am going to tell you right now that I only sourced, I went last week, but I actually went sourcing for stuff only 5 times. Once was in Ohio the very first day of the month. So 4 or 5 times I have been sourcing, and I've only spent a couple $100s this month. Now in the past, when I was really trying to get into it more on a heavy basis and really start selling stuff more and more, I did spend, probably $1,000 a month, and really that ended up burning me, because some of that stuff that I thought would sell and be a good buy are some of the items that I lost money on this month. So for me now, it's really moving forward, working smarter, not harder. So I'm using June's numbers as a set point for going forward. Now, I sold on Tradesy, Etsy, Poshmark, and eBay. And those were the 4 sites that I sold on. Sometimes I sell things on Instagram. I did not sell anything on Instagram in June. I actually did not make any sales on Etsy in June. So my primary sales this month came from Tradesy, Poshmark, and eBay. Now, I had a total of 158 sales. 2 of them were from Tradesy, 70 of them were from Poshmark, and 86 of them were from eBay. So my total sales of all 3 of those were $3,582.06. My cost of goods for those items was $919.08. So you can see that there was a profit, how much I paid. The profit I made, well, let me go back. The total sales per let's break it down. So on Tradesy, I only sold 2 items, but they were higher end items, which I like to sell on Tradesy, $50 and above, because their $50 and below fee schedule is so stupid. So my total sales on Tradesy were $186.04. My average profit, so this is profit, this is after fees, shipping, everything. So my profit per item was $34.85. The profit per item also includes the cost that I paid for it. So my husband has my spreadsheet broken down on Excel, where my profit column is the dollar amount, it subtracts everything out. So this is the raw number of what I made on those items. So that's on Tradesy. Then if we go to Poshmark, I sold 70 items for a total of $1,787.99. My average profit per item at Poshmark is $15.06. And on eBay, I sold 86 items and my total sales were $1,608.03. And my average profit per item on that was $11.22. Now, eBay is what I use to clear stuff out. So there are items I bought in November of last year, December, that I just want out of my house. And those items I listed really low and I'm trying to get rid of them. So I am kind of on a 6-month threshold. If it doesn't sell within 6 months, it's not something that maybe I've had some offers in or I've gotten things in, or I just look back and I think, why the hell did I buy this? This is the dumbest, this was so stupid. So that is the kind of mentality that I have, but I give it about 6 months. Now, as you can see, this is just my living room, but we have just a 2-bedroom apartment. My husband and I share an office. He has an office out here to be away from me and all of my shipping and all that stuff for the store. But I have to keep all of my inventory right now in a utility closet back down that hallway. That's why I keep doing this. So anyway, back down that hallway. And that I can only store a certain amount of things in there, and I really would like to keep it right at around 300 items. So for me, 300 items right now is good. I'm good as long if I list 25 and I sell 25, I'm totally fine with that as long as I'm churning out the inventory. Now, my total cost of goods for all those items, so for the 158 items, my cost was $919.08. And so that leaves an average item cost for me at $5.82. Now, if you look at some of the other resellers, or you have access to half-dollar sales and dollar days and fill the bags up at Plato's Closet, the bins, the Goodwill outlets, if you have access to any of that stuff, your profits are gonna be lower. But I also tend to buy up on items. So for instance, I will pay $15 or $18 for a pair of Danskos clogs, the Dansko occupational clogs, if I know I can flip them for $60, $65, or even $45. If I can triple my money, that's usually what I go for. But it has to be something that I know I can sell. So I'm not gonna spend, $30 or $40 on something, well, anymore. I have done that in the past, and I still have some of it from a Nordstrom rack sale. But that's in the past and we're moving forward. So everybody has that. Everybody has the purchases they wish they didn't make. And you know what? You just eat it and you move on, or you just hold on to it and hope you find the right buyer at the right price. So I really just wanted to, oh, hold on, I didn't tell you my total. So my total profit for the month of June, I don't know what happened there, why it didn't, I forgot to add it up. My total profit for June was $2,019.60. So I typically am working on this business about 2 to 3 hours a day right now. And a lot of it is listing, cleaning out my house. I end up doing other things. I'm just a multitasker at heart. So I do laundry, I dust a little bit, and then I do some items and I steam them. I'm also meticulous about my items. So for me, I am a very slow lister. I want my items steamed. I want them to look good on the mannequin. I want them to look great in the pictures. I fuss with the lighting. So it takes me a little bit longer, but I do think the better that your pictures are, the better your prices or your profits and your prices are going to be. So I can't emphasize that enough. Now, there are people who can just rock and roll them on the floor and up and down, and honestly my body just can't handle that. It can't handle being down on the floor, up on the down, up. I can't do it. So for me, that's another reason that I'm a little bit slower at it. You know, my body is still healing. I still have issues with my kidney and my bladder. So I really can't just rock and roll through all of these listings all day long. Like I have 100 things and list them in a day or two. So for going forward, my goal is to list 10 and draft 10. So I draft 10 and then I have 10 drafted from yesterday. I take those pictures, I package them up, and I store them. Tomorrow or Wednesday maybe, I will do a video for you of how I go through my process and how I store it and what I buy and all of those kind of things. And then I'll do another video for you that people have asked me for, is like shipping on Poshmark. What can you use? How, you know, where do you get it? How do you drop it off? How do you print your label? All of those kind of things I will cover in a short video this week for you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for that. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to caution you for getting caught up in what other people's numbers or businesses are. You really have no idea what is going on behind the scenes there. You don't know how many people they have helping them. You don't know if they have a business partner. You don't know how much money they're spending on wholesale and pallets and trucks and their inventory. You also don't know how much inventory they have that's just sitting stale. So just be very careful when you're trying to grow your business, and take everyone's tips and see if you can fit them into your business model, and then go from there. Don't think that you have to try Amazon FBA and be making $40,000 a month in 6 months. If you want to, that's fantastic. I applaud you if you can do that. Because I really am. I truly, if you've watched my videos before, I'm all about you doing you and me doing me. You don't pay my bills, I don't pay your bills. But there is also, a disclaimer, just that what you see in, well, it's anything really. I still am, I'm in the fitness world, is the same thing. People post these before and after pictures where they look ugly and frumpy and their guts sticking out and they've got zits all over their face and their hair is a mess and they're like, I am so fat and ugly. And then 60 days later, they look like supermodels and they're doing a fitness competition. It's not real life, okay? So it's not realistic, and don't set your expectations up to think, I'm gonna start reselling, or I've been reselling and I'm not making $10,000, $20,000 a month right yet, and I bought all this stuff to sell and it's not working for me. Give it time. You have to give it time. You have to learn from your mistakes. And if you can learn from your mistakes in a much smaller financial output or financial risk, that is the best lesson to learn. My gosh, like to be able to say, okay, and I have given everyone a challenge in some of my other videos to find 10 things in your house every week for a month and list them and see what happens. And if I promise you, in those 40 items, you will just figure out what people are looking at, clicking, what sold, what didn't sell. And it really is eye-opening once you start getting into it. But don't just go out and try to find a wholesale pallet to buy, or go out and buy all this stuff to sell to Amazon FBA. Take it slow. Give yourself some time to have a learning curve and be able to, get through it and really learn it before you think that nothing comes easy. The reality is that, we all want to make $1 million overnight, and we all want this, that, and the other, like right now, right? That's what our society's become. I'm one of those people that orders Amazon Prime now. We want it now. We want it now, we want it fast, we want it quick, we want it right, we want it the best, whatever. And unfortunately, that's not really the way it works. And as much as I hate commercials, I'll leave you with this. We were at some friend's house this last weekend, and their TV was on, and there was a commercial for Gatorade, and it talked about what built leaders and what built like pioneers and successful people. and their message was failure. It was losing the big game, the best match, all of those things. That is what truly helps you grow and helps you become better at anything you do. Failure it's not failure. To me, failure is when something doesn't work out and you cry about it and then you don't learn from it. That, my friends, is failure. When you do something and it bombs and you keep doing it again and again and again and it's bombing every time, that's failure. But having something go wrong, learning from that experience and using it to grow and build from as a foundation moving forward, that is the key, my friends. That right there. Failure is the key to success. And we can get into that in some other videos, but I could tell you stories for days about some of the lovely learning experiences I've had in the past 15 years with being a business owner and an entrepreneur and a manager and a general manager and all of that fun stuff. So anyway, I know you guys love my rants. I think that's maybe why some of you watch. But anyway, I appreciate it. I hope this gives you a little bit of a breakdown for, what I paid per item, what my profit was, what my sales were, and all of those kind of things. And I hope you stick around for the next video, and I'll see you next time. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Bye.